Previously on Sagebrush Soul.
It'd be cool to have a hobo name.
I want a hobo name.
What would your hobo name be? We just figured it out. We just figured out what Maddie's hobo name is. What is it?
Mossy Joe.
Mossy Joe. She's got green hair and her middle name's Joe. So, Mossy Joe is her hobo name.
And Old Glory Boots.
And Old Glory Boots. Go ahead and put what you think our hobo name should be or what your hobo name is in the comments. See, I did that.
Perfect. And it organic too.
It was kind of,
natural.
yeah. Our next stop is a bit of a fascination of both of ours, and neither one of us have ever been here. But Maddie did a paper on him in the 5th grade, and I am an Old West fanatic. It is Butch Cassidy. Oh, sorry, Butch, you gotta go. This area here is where Butch Cassidy grew up, and we're stopping just outside of Circleville at Butch Cassidy's childhood home.
This historic site is a great little stop off with vault toilets, shaded picnic tables, and some signage telling of Butch Cassidy and how the preservation of the homestead came to be.
So we're going to continue on with our little Butch Cassidy journey here, and everybody knows that Butch Cassidy's real name was...
Leroy Parker.
Right, I was testing you.
Right. Do you remember what the Sundance Kid's real name was?
Harry Longabaugh?
Longabaugh.
Or Longbaugh. I've heard it pronounced both ways. I'm not sure which is the correct pronunciation of it. But what a lot of people might not know is where he got his nickname from, and most people believe that he got it because not only did he spend time as a ranch hand, I think he did a little railroad work and that kind of stuff, but he was also a butcher, and that's one of the theories of where he got his first name. But do you remember where he got his last name?
In his time working as a ranch hand, he worked with a cattle rustler named Mike Cassidy, so that's his
right.
namesake.
Couldn't remember that first name. The last name, duh.
Yeah, a little easy.
But the next place we're going to go is in Red Canyon, just outside of Panguitch, Utah, and it's one of the stomping grounds of Butch Cassidy. It's a place he'd kind of hide out and one of his escape routes out of the valley.
Just a couple miles past the Red Canyon Visitor Center is Butch Cassidy Draw. Butch Cassidy allegedly used this trail as an escape route after a fight in Panguitch. There are also stories of Butch being seen here after he was supposedly killed in Bolivia. This is definitely the perfect backdrop for a Western movie, but the reality is you can walk in the footsteps of real Western history.
think Butch was here.
We worked up an appetite on our itty-bitty hike and decided to try the Cowboy Smokehouse Cafe in Panguitch. We both opted for the Cowboy Philly and were beyond satisfied. The food was great and definitely my kind of atmosphere. Before leaving Panguitch, we had to make one more stop to hit as many Atlas Obscura locations as possible. We swung by the Quilt Walk Monument. This site is dedicated to a group of pioneers who in the winter of 1865 had left Panguitch for a 40-mile trek to Parowan for some severely needed supplies. The snow was so deep they abandoned their wagons and tried to make the journey on foot, only to find the snow too deep to even support their own weight. When they knelt on their quilts to pray, they found that they didn't sink in the snow. They completed the journey by laying down a quilt, then walking over it while laying down another quilt in front of them. Ultimately, they returned to Panguitch and saved the settlement from starvation. We're going to spend the night in Parowan and we're following almost the same route as the aforementioned pioneers. We have one more stop on the way, and that is the Cedar Breaks National Monument overlooks that seems to show up out of nowhere near Bryan Head. Tonight we stay at the Mount View Lodge in Parowan, and this is a nice clean motel that offers a Chinese restaurant on site, but if you prefer burgers or pizza, both are within walking distance. The next morning we hit our final Atlas Obscura site on the trip, the Parowan Gap Petroglyphs. Only about a 10-mile diversion from I-15, not only is the gap geographically striking, but it has petroglyphs from over 1,000 years of cultures, including the ancient Sevier Fremont people. As we strolled around this place, it started to seem very familiar to me, and after doing a little digging, I found some old video of an FFA trip we took 30 years ago. And sure enough, there I am. I told you I've always been fascinated by the Wild West. I'm not sure, but Brandon from DIY Love Life might be in this group from Skyview. In the next video, we leave Utah and head for Arizona and hang out with some real asses. Then it's time to put on a show in Lake Havasu City. Thanks for watching, and may the best of your past be the worst of your future.